Hey guys, welcome back to Release the Craftin. Priscilla here for day 5. That's right, 5 of Poevember. That's hashtag Poevember24 if you are interested in checking that out. Definitely check it out because you can see all the cool stuff other people are making. And I also have a playlist, an inspiration list, a link to the original announcement list, all the videos and information you need to enjoy this Poevember will be in the description box below. And I decided for day 5, the prompt is flowers for a funeral. Flowers for the grave. I lied. I just read the funeral one. Flowers for the grave. Yeah, flowers for a grave. I don't know why I'm struggling with that one so much. Probably because it's the longest one of all the other prompts. But at any rate, that's the prompt today. And I decided I was going to make some art tiles. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, off the top, I did not like how these came out. They started to grow on me after the fact, and I honestly got to the end of this and was like, I'm going to remake these and do it again, but better. And then I let the glossy accents dry, came back to it the next day, spent some time staring at it, walking around my house, being like, I don't know about this. And when I sat down again and started like moving them around, I was like, you know what? I actually like these, and I think they're going to work for something I have in mind in the back of my head later. But they are imperfect. But I still like them. They are gradually every day growing on me a little bit more and more here and there. But I wanted to keep these. I decided to keep the video after I convinced myself to not go back to the drawing board and remake it. One, so I could share this experience with you guys and be very upfront and honest about my creative process, because I think that's really important as a creator to not only show you the times that I am like 100% happy with things, but also when I am not 100% happy with things, and we can like talk about it and work it back, and maybe you guys will have a different opinion than I have. I think the problem with this one is that I was doing the most with things that were too big for the project that I had at hand. And I probably should have used smaller things, but I did not, because I was really excited to use these stamps and all the stuff, and it kind of backfired a little bit. But it's okay, because like I said, at the end of the day, these are starting to rapidly grow on me as I have now thought of things to use them for. But when I finished, I was like, well, you made this and it's not great. So yeah, here we are. The process of making art tiles I have done in a tutorial at a different point in time. I don't remember when, but not super long ago. You know what? I did it for the Shabby Creep challenge. I forgot what it was called. Sorry. I did it for Shabby Creep. So that would be back in like March, April, around that time. But I did an art tile tutorial back then, so if you are interested in like the full breakdown process of how it's done, I did something very similar here. I did it better there, but that's neither here nor there. Sometimes we win, sometimes we fail, but sometimes we just make stuff that's okay, and that's fine. But I'm essentially using the same process here. So I had some chipboard that I have now layered with paper, and then I picked out some flowers that I thought would look appropriate in a funeral bouquet, some like dried up wilting roses, some like more somber colored flowers, and I added them to the tiles after I cut them apart. I cut them into 2 inches and 1 inch little blocks, so they're 20s and inches sizes for those of you in that little space. And then I went over and stamped them up with some of these anatomy stamps, because I wanted them to have like the body parts that would be in the grave. That was where my brain was in this process, and it works really well, except for the fact that some of the stamps were too large for the inchies, and I just committed to the bit as opposed to finding something different, which I should have done and could have done, because I guarantee you I found it afterwards when I was stomping around my house trying to decide if I was going to refilm these or not. But even though the stamps that I used were a little too big for the inch ones, I do think that it still kind of works. I think it's like the body reclaiming the flowers that you leave on the grave, and that's kind of where my brain is with that, and I kind of like that. I decided to go back in because, like I said, I'm using red as an accent color for all of these makes, so I was like, this needs a little bit of red. So I came back in with some Distress ink and just added in a couple of splashes, so it looks a little bit bloody, a little bit gory, and I think fits the Edgar Allan Poe vibes that we're going for here, without being overtly like in your face, because it does fade back a bit as it dries, so it's there but it's not there. I will say I used plasticky, like PET plastic stickers for this project. So you just have to be careful when you're heating those up. If you get too close, you will melt or warp your sticker. So when you are embossing on top of plastic like this, or even just drying ink like I was just then, you just have to be careful, keep your heat tool moving so that you don't burn your sticker and you don't get super close, because you will melt and warp your sticker and it will ruin your project and you'll be very sad. But that is a little trick to that. And because I'm sticking these little clipping stickers on top of plastic and embossed plastic, I decided to add some glue to make sure they stuck down, and then I came back through for the smaller ones and added in some rub-ons, and then decided that I actually wanted to use some words instead, since at that point I had decided that this project was for the dogs and I was not happy with how it came out. So I was like, maybe you can obscure some of the things you don't like by using the bigger words, and they did work to that end. It did get what I wanted to cross, and I think you can still see everything pretty well if you are looking at them. They're very tiny, so I will do a little close-up so you guys can see, but it does eventually come around. It does work out in the end, and gives me the effect I'm going for. I think that these will make excellent background pieces, and I can put something more visually like punchy on the top, and it'll work out really well. It has the vibes. And then I just top it all off with some glossy accents. I don't show you guys the whole process of like covering these, because one, I had a clog in my bottle that had to get removed, and two, it's not that interesting. But after I like put all the glossy accents on top, I went back, I poked out all the little bubbles with a needle, and then yeah, that was it. That was everything I had to do, and that's going to be everything I have to talk about with you guys today. So definitely come back tomorrow, see what we do for the next day of Poevember. We're going to start the next poem, and I'm excited to see it. So can't wait to see what you guys made. Happy crafting, you guys. Until next time, I appreciate your faces. Bye!